Good afternoon, everybody. As he said, my name is Luke Ramsay. I'm with the Kentucky Innovation Center in London, and I recognize some faces. So I was here about 6 months ago with my boss, and we were talking about the e-coaches program. You all may remember that a little bit. It was a long time ago, and not much has happened since then that has impacted you all, but we are finally getting moving. We got a nice program that we're running. I just wanted to summarize again for you all who aren't there, and for those of you who have forgotten what e-coaches is, and then invite you to an event that we've got going on in a few weeks. E-coaches is essentially a way to distribute a lot of the benefits and the programs that we've got going on. We have realized just how many resources the Kentucky Innovation Center has in London, but you know, we're 30 minutes away. We don't have our staff person here every day that's integrated into the community, but we've got these resources that are set aside for you all, for the businesses in Clay County. So we wanted to figure out a way to get those benefits, get those resources to you all, and essentially to make you all the heroes. So we've got things like grants, we've got training programs, we've got one-on-one consultations for business folks, and what we need from you all is just some volunteers, some people who will come to a training that we're going to have in a few weeks to learn about those programs that we've got available, and then share that information. We really don't expect you to do much more than what you're doing already, and that is just networking with the community. If you're here, if you're at the chamber meeting, then you all are doing what you need to be doing already. All we want to do is to provide you with some more resources that can help the community. So in a few weeks, on the 27th, we're going to be having a training out at the community center, and we are paying for our time at the community center. You're welcome. You're welcome. We're going to have a meeting out there from 10 until 2. So we'd like to have you all come out. I do need you to RSVP just so that we can order enough food, but it is really open to all. So what we're looking for are folks who are passionate about the community, about the county, want to see it grow, folks who are continuing to network, continuing to meet other business folks, and folks who are willing to share that information. So I've got a ton of business cards. I've got these flyers that kind of explains what e-coaches is, and I'll pass those around. But in the meantime, you all have any questions, any ideas, thoughts, concerns?
So you're just looking for folks to share with others a little bit about what you guys provide.
Right. Well, so there are many facets of what we do. I'll give you kind of the short version, but yes, that is what we're looking for. We are part of the Kentucky Innovation Network, which is 13 facilities like ours all across the state, and each one has its own flavor and own areas of expertise. And so we have this opportunity to pull from all those different resources. We've got a guy out in Owensboro who really knows a ton about exporting. He just knows a ton about exporting. And he's more than happy to come out here and talk with folks in Clay County about exporting, if that's an area of interest. We've got folks who are experts in marketing. We've got folks who are experts in manufacturing. It just depends on what the desire of this community is, and we'll find the resource. We've got grants that are available. Kentucky is the only state in the country that provides a matching grant to some of these federal grants, and so we've got this pool of money sitting there ready to be distributed. We just got to find the right folks, and the folks with the right passion. So we've got trainings, we've got events that we'll put on for 2 hours. We've got an event going on in London in 3 weeks on QuickBooks, for instance. So if you're somebody who needs to get your business's accounting world in order, and we've got programs for that. We've got one-on-one consultations. It just depends, and most of it, almost all of it, is free. It's not a pay-for service. But yes, what we're looking for is mostly folks who can share that information. That's it. Now we are going to be looking for some folks who can do a little bit more than that in the long run, but we're only going to look for those folks who are really interested. We're not going to ask you to do any of that unless you're interested. And those sorts of things will be assessments. So if you've got a business here that just says, I need help, but I don't know what sort of help I need, somebody here in the county will train you and then that person can go to that business, do some quick assessments, figure out exactly, or at least a good idea of what areas that business needs help in, and then we will pair them up with the right resource. So does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Sure. Any others? All right. Well, my name is Luke Ramsay. I'm at the Kentucky Innovation Center. So by all means, give me a call, and I'll distribute this. My phone number is on the bottom, and if you got any questions or would like to come, just let me know. Thank you.
Now, I'd like to, on the chairperson for economic development and tourism. First off, Danny, do you have anything on your mind today?
I'll yield to what Luke just spoke about there as far as economic development, so on and so forth. We made the referral today. I think we were selected in the promise zone. That'll put us up front when money starts coming this way if it is available. That's similar to those impairment zones that they had in Jackson County and so on and so forth. That's a favorable development for us. Also, recently there was a large settlement with some drug companies at state level. So there's a ton of money down there that's going to be available for some rehabilitation programs and things of that nature. All been earmarked for that, so that might be something that city might want to check in over there. They've already started for the program, so that might be some funds available through that. You look down there pretty quick. Other than that, I think that's about it. Connect the health marketplace exchange enrollment is behind where they wanted it to be at this time. Right now, I'll be honest and say there's probably 2-hour waits on the telephone trying to contact somebody for help or assistance, and you'll find that with the insurance carriers as well. It's just trying to do too much too quick. At the same time, a lot of people have really benefited from that program. There are issues going forward that we'll have to address as we go, and practically everybody will be affected at some point in this coming year if you haven't already with that. I'll keep you abreast of any changes that I feel are major or will affect us in a positive or negative way. Shannon, I want to mention there about the solar something.
I'm Shannon Riggett. I'm from Congressman Rogers' office. I'm the field representative for this area. I just want to thank everybody that came out to the SOAR Summit. We had great participation. It was a good conversation that got started. It was just the beginning of the initiative. I think you'll be seeing some announcements coming out along the way. But the Congressman just wanted to extend his thanks. It's your ideas that are going to take this region to where it needs to be. So thank you.
Okay, Margie, you've always got a good report for us.
Well, we've got our inmates that are working on the mural over here beside the red light, and we're also going to have them working on another mural painted on boards that we're going to put around the pump station across the swinging bridge. And we do have permission now to put a welcome to Manchester mural on the side of the Madden building. We've been waiting on Scott, and Scott's had a lot going on, and but he did okay it. So I guess we'll come up with some idea, I don't know, maybe a contest or something of what to put as a mural coming into town that welcomes everybody. And I think probably this month we'll have another meeting about starting to rehearse for our next Monkey Dumplings Theater. And the theme of this next one, which I think we're looking to have in April or May, is going to be when the tanks blew up. And everybody in Manchester knows about that, and there's lots of great stories. So when we know, we'll have a huge repertoire to go by for that as a theme. Lots of good stories, and turn them into lots of good little skits. But, so that's pretty much what's going on there. But I had an idea, actually, when I talked to Ron Curry, and Ron told me that you were coming today about this. So I guess since my business failed on Main Street, that's basically what got me wanting to try to make downtown better. And my idea of what I would like Manchester to be is just a real cozy little town with lots of restaurants and gift shops and a place where you could park, and you know, it's a small town, you can walk around it easily and shop and eat. Of course, that's not really happening. Like my business failed, just not enough tourism. But I had an idea. What if we try to put a restaurant of some kind in most of these empty buildings in town? Maybe form like a restaurant association and get everybody on the same page, where we would be known as come to Manchester Park, and there's all kinds of little places to eat. I'd like to see like maybe tables and chairs on the sidewalks and little outdoor places to eat, and like specialty restaurants are big now, like say grilled cheese restaurants. Just like somebody have a little restaurant and you can go in, you can custom order a grilled cheese, and it's inexpensive. And maybe maybe you could have like progressive dinners, like you get your appetizer in one restaurant, go to the next one for your entree, go to the third one for your dessert. I mean, that'd be something that you could do some nights of the week, or just try to put a restaurant with a different theme in all these empty buildings and fix them up and make them look pretty. Get people to come here and just walk around and eat, and then gift shops and that sort of thing would follow. I mean, if you can get people here to get them to eat, and Lord knows that we like to eat in this country, and we got good cooks. And is this maybe something that you all could assist us with, training people if they need money to start up a restaurant?
I mean, we've got the financial resources, you know, either as loans or grants that could assist with that. And we've got folks. This location in Owensboro, I went there, and they have started a kitchen incubator. So there's folks who know about starting restaurants, about how to make that profitable. So yeah, certainly worth exploring.
Well, like I said, we like to eat and we like to cook, but there might be some of us that don't really know how to run a restaurant business and make it profitable. That's something that people would need to learn. I mean, this is just my idea, and I'm throwing it out there for everybody to think about, because I hate seeing these empty buildings. I mean, I would just love it if something was in them all, and something that would bring people to Manchester and spend the money, because that's what it's all about. You know, I still think the number one thing that we should concentrate on is adventure tourism. But I mean, and speaking talking about a car show, like I've been to many car shows with Rodney, and I like walking around and looking at the cars, and I can do that for a few minutes, but after a few minutes, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Now what can I do? You know, so maybe, you know, if we have a car show going on and we've got all these little restaurants downtown, the men could be looking at the cars and the women could go pick them out of a restaurant, and then later on, gift shops. So that would be, you know, something else to build upon a car show, and you know what I'm saying?
Well, I done a restaurant at one time, which was very profitable, and you can make profit on it. You have to watch what you buy and have your help. You have to have people that's interested in working. That's your problem. That's the biggest problem you have. But as far as a restaurant, you could make, really, I'm too old now. I've always wished I would go back, but right now, if anybody was healthier enough and young enough, they could do really good in a good restaurant. They are money to be made in a restaurant, and they really are. But you have to stick to business. It's business, and that's what exactly you have to look at it.
So I thought that's where training might come in, because I
That's
know
what you need.
a lot
is
of people, they start in the business and they got too many people trying to live out of it. And
Right.
pretty
You
soon
can't do that.
the doors are closed. So maybe people just need to be trained.
You also have to have a menu that's the same thing every day, because that's sort of like a fast food restaurant too. You have to change. There's a lot of people like a home cooked meal, and honest to goodness, if a person was to open a decent restaurant here, they had home cooked meals, or they had steaks whenever you wanted them. Somebody, they could have whatever. But you need somebody to have a variety and stick to business. Like I say, stick to business.
And if you had a lot of different kinds of restaurants, I mean, like you said, maybe somebody might want to be like the little country restaurant
Right.
that have chicken and dumplings. And, I mean, people go a long way for some good chicken and dumplings.
Ice
yes.
cream,
Oh,
coffee.
And
yes.
ice cream, yeah, coffee. You know how Starbucks, everybody's crazy about Starbucks. Maybe somebody could have a little coffee shop with
Have a donut
specialty
shop.
coffees.
Pastries.
Margie, I'd like to expand on what you started on a little bit earlier. Myself, Ron Curry, Bill Daylow, and Gary Barnaby have been tossing the idea around, and it was presented here in the chamber a couple of weeks ago about all of our local groups getting together, forming a coalition. There's more voice in larger groups than there are individual groups. And combine it with our car show that we have once a month, and line all along the Riverwalk, and have vendors, have local artists, local musicians, monkey dumplings, display with the salt works down here, and then lead up into town. If we can get the people started coming, then the idea of restaurants and so forth will take root. But we have got to offer the people something to come.
Right.
And rather than all these small groups trying to do their own thing, we need to group together and make one larger group with a stronger voice
We do.
that can be heard more and have got more traction, just like you said. Ladies like to go to car shows and look at them for a little while, but they get bored soon. All right, provide them something else. Provide something for every member of the family. Give them entertainment. If you've got enough diverse entertainment, then you will draw greater crowds.
Right. That could work perfectly together. I mean, like you said, if we had that thing once a month and the, you know, across the swinging bridge, come up into town, here's all these little restaurants to choose from.
Right.
And hopefully after that, maybe little gift shops that can survive, you know. That
We
can
have to
do
start
good.
somewhere with the grassroots. Once we get the people coming, then we can expand on it. We can add other things, give more attractions, give more reasons for people to come to Manchester.
Right. That's the key.
Also, Margaret, there, you was talking about training people. I don't know how many of you are aware of EXCEP over in Hazard, Kentucky. They have money to do unemployed miners or unemployed miners' wives to train them in other skills. That might be one of the things you might want to look at. And I'd like to make another comment on the mural you was thinking of putting on the Madden building. I would like to see us honor the 3 men that gave their lives in the helicopter crash for the city of Manchester. And maybe, you know, maybe we could do a mural on that, or EVAC 109 or something. And, you know, they made the major sacrifice for this county.
We definitely did have a mural plan to honor them.
Yeah, I think we owe it to them.
All we need is sponsors.
Yeah, we need to do something for Bert Combs too. He could be a draw.
I think so
Governor.
too.
I think that's so important.
Yeah, that's a good
We
idea.
need to do like the little town in Ohio, everybody get together, get the community together to just buy paint, buy window cleaner, get out some brooms and just clean
Amen.
this downtown up, pretty it up,
Amen.
nice it up, make it look inviting.
Let's
Don't make
have
it
a
look
clean-up day.
desolate and empty and cold. Make it look good
I'll
and
be
warm and
there.
pretty and
Also, Margaret, would you mention the boards in the spring and bridge about people buying plaques?
Right, we still have plenty left. You can buy a plaque to go on the bridge, $25 each. You can buy it, you can put your name on it, you can do it in memory of someone. It's a good fundraiser for Stay in Clay, and it's really nice. If you haven't been down to see it, you might want to take a look at it.
The Stay in Clay meeting is having a meeting tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
All right.
Everybody that wants to come, you're welcome. It's going to be at 6:30 at the Mexican restaurant.
I think
We
need
try to go
spread the
somewhere-
word for all the different groups that we've got to get together and come to a meeting and, you know, let's work together as a group.
We actually talked about, some of us at Stay in Clay, having one, like you said, one meeting for everybody. I think Vanda called it a tourism task force, where we would meet every month or every other month, and all of us that have these ideas get together, like you said. So we have got that. We're
Well, see,
talking
like all
about
of our little groups, you know, the Clay County Cruisers, we've been doing this for, well, this ended our 8th year. But we are fighting a losing battle because we're too small of a group. If we can combine with all these other groups that are struggling also, then we've got a stronger voice and we've got a stronger calling card.
I think that tourism task force could do that.
Like I said something about the plaques. We need to do certificates and let the funeral home know that people can buy these in memory of people. Because when you go buy flowers right now, 10 minutes and they're dead. But you've got that plaque on the swinging bridge, so I think that would be...
Good idea.
I think that's a great idea.
I mean, you know, just have the certificates ready, and, I mean, anybody would rather do that, I'm satisfied.
We have that on the agenda for Stay in Clay.
And the next thing is, I don't know about everybody else, but I love Rock the Block. And I think it's such good PR for us. And I think we need to look in the spring and maybe do another Rock the Block. If you weren't involved last year, you missed out. Had lots of good prizes, music. It wasn't as publicized as much as we probably wanted. And I would be willing to be one chairman, not the whole chairman, maybe Kelly and a few more, but really help to get this on the road and get it going. Because I think we need PR. The chamber has to have PR to survive. And that's one of the big things that we need to work with.
Yeah, we were planning on trying to get that early this year, probably in June, is when we have a block party. And Betty has an idea that would go in along with it.
I got another one.
Mr. Ramsay, in those programs that you were talking about you have available, do you have anything to promote tourism, any types of grants or something that would help us with a tourism promotion?
Well, we've got folks who certainly know a lot about tourism. You know, the focus is primarily on individual businesses and helping those businesses get up and running, which fits into that. You know, it's part of the overall picture. There's not a specific program that comes to mind that targets that, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And I would be happy to dig into it.
If you would care to keep your ears open,
Sure,
if you happen to come across something,
Absolutely.
I'd love to know about it.
There is some tourism money out there though, Jack. I think I give my daughter a thing to give to Vanda. I believe the Kentucky League of Cities there promoting tourism. Probably Keiko, you know, there's some avenues out there we just got to look for.
Well, I think we should start concentrating more on things along these lines. We should start trying to promote our city as a tourist attraction. And in order to do that, we're going to have to start small, like what we've been discussing here, and build on that. Once we get them started coming, then we can grow, and the crowds will grow.
When does your car show start now?
Our first one normally is in May.
May?
But if we thought it would be beneficial, we could go back to April. When we first started them, we started in April, and the weather was too unpredictable in April. So we moved it up into May for that reason. But we will be willing to work with all the groups to make this thing go. And I think our first thing of business would be to bond. Take all the small groups and form
I've
into
been
one.
working with Gary Barnaby's idea on having the type of festival he has in conjunction with the car show. Is that going to work out, or you're just going to?
Well, that's what I'm
to do
talking
that?
about. That's what we need to concentrate on, getting all the groups involved and bringing them together to work
That'd be a
together
good
on
start,
this.
with those two groups
Right.
like was proposed.
We build on that and get this thing in a working mode, and it'll grow. Then it'll lay the groundwork for the restaurants. It'll lay the groundwork for a lot of other things to allow us to expand.
Again, I think we need to not necessarily start all over, but
No, we've
try
already
to
got it
finish
in
the work
motion.
that these poor young ladies have started with the clay, stay in clay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've
I think
got
we
it
need to
in
build
motion.
on that, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to disband that. We want to bring them together as one thinking group, with one thought in mind, rather than 4 or
Yeah.
5 different
Yeah,
separate
I understand that.
directions. And, you know, you can set down subcommittees under, you know, like stay in group. They've got a history already. They've got a track record. It needs to stay in place. But we can also set up subcommittees underneath this to take us in that direction or this direction or whatever direction that some of those smaller groups wants to go with. But yet we are under one umbrella, thinking with one thought, to accomplish, you know, what we want to do.
I like that. I like to add something to that, which we talked a little bit, and if we were going to have something together, we weren't able to do that this time. But I think that we certainly need to go back to the basics, and by that I mean go back to. There's a lot of people in this room that's got a lot of ideas, and there's a lot of contacts in this room. And I think if we sit down and brainstorm ideas and say, here's what we have, here's where we want to go, this is how we're going to get there. We've got a lot of, as a city and a county, we've got a whole lot of resources, like this gentleman here that's available right now, but we've got a lot of small groups, and I certainly agree with that, that's working together, and the kind of right hand don't know what the left hand's doing,
Right.
and the left hand may have the answer.
Yeah, you're kind of defeating the purpose.
Right, and I think it's certainly important that you bring city and county leaders here, these smaller groups, and sit down and start back at zero and say, here's what we have going now. This group can help this group, and so on and so forth. And I think that's, you know, definitely pertinent to what's going on. And you know, we have a senator that's in the position he's in right now, and obviously everybody in this county wants to do better and wants to have things that's better. And I think we certainly need to get together as a big group and subdivide these groups as need to be, but put some organization and structure from the top down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Brian. That's
And
what
go
I'm
with one
talking
vision. And because there's people in this county that's got contacts that you won't believe that don't even know that they've got them.
about. Yeah. But that's why I'm saying we need a stronger voice.
Right.
Rather than little small groups. We need to group together under one umbrella, and we've got a stronger voice. We've got a louder voice that can be heard more, and we can get more attention.
So you're kind of saying stay in clay should be the umbrella.
I think so.
Get underneath it.
I think so, yes.
That's what you and John Ed are kind of agreeing on.
And, you know, therefore, underneath that, we've got a head. And we can branch out in different subcommittees if different little groups want to go a different way or, you know, do their own thing, whatever. But they're all working in conjunction for one thing, to promote tourism.
Right.
They're not butting heads with individuals.
Right.
They're working toward one goal.
You're
And
right,
I think that's
that's the
what
key.
we've all got in mind,
That is the key.
is to do, you know, one thing, improve our community. But without guidance and without unity, we're never gonna make it.
Okay, due to the time here, it's a little after 1, some people may have to get back to work and so on. We're gonna have to kind of wind things up here, but some of them need to, you know, Margie has done a fantastic job with what she's doing. Some of the other people in all have some good ideas. It's just a matter of getting organized and everybody working together and move this thing forward. Unless, does anybody ever have any more question or any specific announcement they need to make before we adjourn?
Terry Gray said that EKU would be willing to host one of our chamber meetings, so if you want to call him and
Okay, I'll contact her
so,
up there.
a different
We
change
also-
of pace or.
Okay, since you mentioned his name, about the new brochure for Clay County, who knows, is that being taken care of? Do you know, George, are they doing that? Are they printing those?
No, I haven't sent it over yet just because we were trying to finalize the Southeastern Sunday information so that I can squeeze it in there. But yeah, I can send it over now.
So as you get that done, you can get it to me or get it to the city, and we'll see that they get it and get it printed up for us.
And I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Haley McCoy, and hopefully I'll be coming to the meetings here representing Jackson Energy. So our organization is signing up to be a member. And my family's from here. Rhonda Bowling is my mom. She heads health display here in Clay County Works Health Department. So I'm kind of local, but coming from Jackson County. So if you see me, I've been here before. I will be here again. So.
That's good.
Here's one right here.
Penny and I'll be hosting the food for February.
No, March.
March.
That's
good. March.
Laurel Creek can do it for February, Laurel Creek Healthcare Center. And I've been asked to be the point person to try to get somebody to do this from month to month. So we'll have February set out and we'll have March. So somebody be thinking about volunteering to do it for April.
Phillips will sponsor for April.
Okay, we're doing good then. Thank you.
I forgot something.
Yes.
The Martin Luther King March is on, and I need all the help I can get.
Okay, what month is that?
It's on the 20th.
Third Monday.
This month. Yeah, the third Monday of this month.
2 Mondays.
2 Mondays.
2 Mondays. I got 2 Mondays.
It's actually the 20th.
The 20th.
Monday.
We will have a tourism task force meeting this month, and we'll put it in the paper, put it on
Yeah, I'll get
Facebook
ready to get
pages.
Ron, or Rodney, and see if we can do a story to invite all the different heads of the groups. Because there's a lot of little groups out there, there's a lot, like artists, and musicians, and craftsmen, and, all these heads of these small groups, encourage them to get together, set a meeting date, and let's sit down and hash this thing out and explain to everybody, where we all benefit by doing this.
We will. We'll pick it. I think we've actually already picked a day, but we'll publicize it. We'll make sure we get on the radios, in the newspaper, and on the Facebook pages.
Yeah. I think that's the first thing we need to do in order to make this thing work.
All right, unless somebody else has got something specific.
One other thing, Target.
Go ahead.
Hopefully somewhere in the near future, we can recognize the people that responded to the electric going out up there in the high rise the other night. 'Cause several people was involved taking care of those people, and we avoided a major tragedy right there could have been. So I would hope the chamber somewhere would recognize the people that took a big part in it.
We just didn't make together, the newspaper done a income story on that.
It's in the paper today.
Okay, maybe we could go there, a news story, and do something with that. So try to manage that part if we can, do what we need to do.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made.
And I'd like to say that coming to these meetings all all summer long, this has been the biggest and the most participation that I have seen at the chamber.